Hi friends, this is Anna with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff. We are going to make a fun fold card today. So I have it open here. You can see what the inside looks like. This is a tunnel card. It's been a long time since I've made a tunnel card, but they're really neat and they're really simple. So I thought it would be a good one to share today. And my favorite on a card like this that has a surprise on the inside is to keep it really simple on the outside. So I have a very basic outside. We are going to then have this really fun inside on it. So let's get started. We are going to need, all you need for this, for the base itself, is 2 pieces of 5.5 by 8.5 white cardstock. Now, I am going to use 1 piece of our regular white cardstock and 1 piece of our thick white cardstock. It's up to you what you want to do. The reason I am using regular white on the inside piece is because it folds up a little easier. It's a little less thick for all of these extra layers in here. So I'm using regular cardstock for this piece. And then for this one, when I did the watercoloring with the aqua painter on these flowers, it came through but you just barely see through it if you're looking for it. So that's why I decided to use the thick for the actual card base. So right now I have my regular white cardstock. This is going to be the piece for the inside. I need to score it at 3 different spots. 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Now, we are going to prepare it for, we need to cut this hole out of the center of it. So, I'll grab my machine here and show you how to line this up. This is one of our dies, and I forgot to check the name of the set. When I get this on YouTube and on my blog, I'm going to have my product list below, so you can check that out. Anybody in my Facebook group watching? If you're wondering what set this is from, comment below and I'll check it out afterwards. But I really like this die set. It's got some really pretty rectangles and some other nice labels. So you want to center it on that center score line, center it so that it's going to be in the center up and down. Crank this through. Sorry about the shaking. And now we have that centerpiece prepared for the card. I am going to stamp, I decided to stamp, if you wanted to stamp a greeting on the inside, you could either stamp it in the background with the flowers, or I thought it was kind of fun to stamp it right here. So we will go ahead and stamp that right now. Have some old olive ink, and since I stamped Wildly Grateful on the front, I decided to put this Always stamp on the inside. And these are from the Lovely You set, which is a really nice one with really pretty greetings. So I'll stamp this over here in this right section, that old olive ink. Let that dry for just a second, and now we will go ahead and get this folded up and ready to be inserted on the inside of the card. So I am going to actually flip this over so that that always is on the back. Now I'm going to fold it just like I would a card. Get it creased in the center here. You want to be careful when you are doing this part right here that you don't tear this. Now that that is done, we are going to fold these pieces back. Both of them. So fold that one back, flip it over, fold this one back. Use that bone folder, get them nice and flat. and that's going to lay pretty flat. You can work on it some more if you want to, but that is all ready to go on the inside of our card. So now we need our thick white cardstock, and you want to line this up. We need to get the flowers stamped in the center, but we don't really want to make any marks on it yet. So I love our grid paper. I'm not sure if you can see my measurements in your view, but I am going to line this up. My measurements at the top show me the measurements starting at the center and going out. So I want to line this up so that each way I'm at the 4 1/4 mark. So here's my center line. Here I'm at 4 1/4, here I'm at 4 1/4. What this is going to do is help me to know where my center is. I know my center is right here. So I have my stamps ready. We are going to stamp the jar and these pretty sunflowers on top. So I have my Memento black ink. Stamp right about here. And right about there. That should be centered nicely. And if you want to check before you go to any more work, you can bring this piece in, lay it directly on top, and see, that looks pretty good to me. Now I have my water stamp. Now this is one of our reversible stamp sets. So if you stamp the one side, you're going to get these lines. If you flip your stamp over so that the flat side is up, we can actually just stamp that water right in there and fill in that whole area. Pretty cool, huh? So with our reversible sets, those are noted in the catalog. You can actually get more use out of your stamps that way because you can use the fronts and the backs. Okay, let's stamp the stems in the jar. We'll bring that old olive ink back. I am going to use my marker here and just fill those in. We're going to color the rest of the flowers in with the aqua painters. The water painters is their new name. So you could use the water painters for this if you want to, or you can just leave them as is. You don't really have to color them in, but I thought it looked nice this way. Okay, now I will get my water painter and we will start coloring in these up here. And I am going to use a really quick, we're going to do this quickly and easily. I want to show you that you don't have to spend a lot of time doing this when you want to color an image in. It doesn't have to be precise, doesn't have to take a lot of time. So I'll get my ink colors ready here, and we have the old olive again with soft suede, bumblebee, and magenta madness. So I want to use my bumblebee for these pretty flowers. And you're going to see I am not coloring each petal by any means. I'm using more of a swirling motion to just sort of hit the main areas and keep on coloring. You can be more precise with this if you want to, of course. But I find that the messy look, we'll call it, when you get done, it usually doesn't even look that messy. And it looks really nice. Okay, so we got those sunflowers done. I just love this new bumblebee color for those flowers. So to clean your aqua painter off, just kind of color on your paper till you don't see any more color coming out. Now we'll do some magenta madness on a few of these other flowers. This is such a pretty pink. I love how bright it is. I'm a little curious as to what this flower is up here. If you know what this plant or flower would be called, let me know. It reminds me of, oh, it's a native flower in this area, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's a little crazier looking than what's in my mind. So I don't know what that flower is. If you know, you let me know. So clean out the pink there. Get some soft suede. If you have a hard time, if you know this trick, you can, before you open your pads, you can squeeze them up and down to get that ink there. If you have a hard time with that, or if the messiness of this just drives you crazy, what you can do is just take a small acrylic block, lay it on the surface of your pad, and pick up some ink that way. And then you can pick up the ink from the block, and you don't have all the mess in your ink pads that way. I know some people have a hard time squeezing the pads, and some people don't like the mess, so that's a nice alternative to doing what I'm doing here. So you see those leaves? I just filled in all around there. I did not color each leaf. Now, I think it looks a little open and a little empty down here in this jar, so I am going to pretend like there are some leaves. I'm just going to paint some little leaf shapes in here, and that helps to fill it up a little better. All right, we got that all painted. Now we are ready to fold this in half and get the front of the card prepared. So you can score this if you want to. I am just going to fold in half. As I'm sure you have noticed at this point in the video, my hands are covered in ink. I am working on a watercolor card for this coming week that's going to be really neat, and I got ink everywhere, so I think you probably understand, right? Okay, so here is the front. It doesn't completely lay flat for me here, so I'm going to sit that on top to hold it down. Here is another stamp from that Jar of Flower set, and I'm just going to use this a couple of times to get that little design on the front of the card. So we'll do a Magenta Madness one that way. Let's do another magenta one right there. Maybe one more down here. Now I will clean off my stamp quickly. My chamois, my favorite stamp cleaning tool. I love people's reaction when they use the chamois. Somebody tried it for the first time here not too long ago, and she was like, "That thing is awesome!" Yep, it's pretty cool, so if you haven't tried it, you should. You could do anything you wanted on the front here. You could stamp some of those flowers from the bouquet. You could do lots of things, but like I said, I just think it's fun to put something real basic on the front, and then when they open up the card, they get a nice fun surprise inside. Okay, so I have the background. I am going to wind a little bit of our braided linen trim, make a little messy bunch of ribbon here where the greeting will go over top. So just put a little bit of adhesive down. This is our Seal Plus, so it's a little bit stronger than a regular seal. And make a loop, press it down into that adhesive, make another loop, press it in, and now we can trim off that excess. Here I have my greeting to go on top. On the other side, we'll put a couple of dimensionals on the back. These are my little extra dimensionals. When you get down to where you just have the outside left, I always snip those apart into little pieces so that I can still use them. I guess we could put that on upside down, but I will choose not to today. We'll put it on the right side up. And I have some of our in color dots. I love these. Love the new in colors. The colors are so fun and bright. So we use a couple of the bumblebee ones. Okay, so the front is all ready. Now let's open it up. And just for fun, it's been a little while since I've shown our Wink of Stella glitter brush in one of my videos. So I'm going to raise this up and see if I can attempt to show you. If you look at the water or the sunflowers, are you able to see them shimmer and shine? I just love that. Our Wink of Stella glitter brush is a really fun way to make anything a little bit prettier with a little bit of sparkle and shine. So I am going to add the Stella. Every project can use a little Stella. I'll add some Stella to the flowers. And then after I added it to the flowers, I thought, well, it only makes sense if the water looks like real water. So then I added some to the water. Okay. So we'll see if you can see that. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. Okay, so we are all ready now to add this insert inside. So what you want to do is with that always side up, go ahead and close it together, flip it to the left. So we are directly on the back side of where that always word is. We are going to put adhesive just on the back of this side right now. And so we're going to flip that over so the adhesive side is down. We need to line this piece up directly with the card itself on the very edge out here at the very corner. When it's in place, go ahead and press that down. Now we need to put adhesive on this side, and then we are going to fold the card closed, and it will be all ready and all done at that point. Okay, so fold it closed, give it a good press, and here's the fun part. Open it up and you have that really fun inside. So there you have it, friends. This is a tunnel card. I hope you enjoyed this. Here is that jar of flowers stamp set that we use that is so pretty. Remember, this set does have a coordinating punch. I do have at least one other video using this set. You'll have to look up the jar of flowers shaker card that I did a while back. It turned out really neat. So take a look at that. Visit my blog, Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff, for more ideas and inspiration and to shop for your supplies. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time.